Welcome to the deep dive. We dig into the sources so you don't have to, pulling out the key insights. Today, we're tackling a big one, Elon Musk.
Definitely big.
Our main source is Ashley Vance's biography, Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the quest for a fantastic future. And Vance got incredible access, didn't he? Really behind the scenes.
Oh, completely unprecedented.
Yeah.
Friends, family, the companies themselves. And, the book opens with this killer anecdote that just perfectly frames everything.
Right, the dinner scene.
Exactly. Vance is having dinner with Musk. It's been like 2.5 hours. And out of nowhere, Musk just asks him flat out, do you think I'm insane?
Wow, just like that.
Yeah. And that question, it just hangs there. It's the core of the book, really.
Yeah.
This guy, sometimes he seems absurd, eating cotton candy while talking about saving humanity. But then he achieves things absolutely everyone, called impossible. So Vance's journey and ours today is trying to unpack that, understand the drive, the vision behind the, let's say, unconventional methods.
Absolutely. So our mission for you, listening in, is to explore this biography with us.
Yeah.
We'll pull out the most important bits about Musk's journey, his companies, and this huge vision that seems to connect it all. What strikes me first is, well, how early it all started.
Yes.
It's not just a Silicon Valley story. The book takes us way back. South Africa.
That's right, Pretoria. And it wasn't easy. Vance paints this picture of a childhood shaped by the tensions of apartheid,
Yeah.
feeling like an outsider, getting bullied quite badly, actually. But even then, there are these flashes, like at 12 years old, he designs a video game. Blastar. Sci-fi, of course.
Plaster. Yeah, I remember reading that.
And he sells it. Gets $500 for it at 12.
Incredible. Just shows that early spark, that mix of tech and hustle.
Definitely. And you see these like grand ambitions forming super early.
Right.
Even his name on the game, E.R. Musk, sounds like a sci-fi author.
Huh? True.
And this connects, the book suggests, to his family, especially his grandfather, Joshua Norman Haldeman.
The adventurer.
Yeah, the chiropractor, pilot, politician, the guy who flew his family in a single-engine plane from Canada to South Africa. Talk about risk-taking.
Seriously. Makes you think.
Right. Vance raises that question. How much of Musk's almost unnatural tolerance for risk is just in his DNA, inherited? It's a compelling thought.
So he gets out of South Africa at 17, heads to Canada. He had ancestry there, right? And partly to avoid the military service.
Right.
And then, well, it's not glamorous. The book talks about these really tough jobs, shoveling grain.
And cleaning out a lumber mill boiler room. In a hazmat suit, apparently, for $18 an hour.
And wasn't that the job where almost everyone quit?
Yeah, like 27 out of 30 people quit within 3 days, but Musk stayed. It just shows this relentless, almost stubborn work ethic from day one.
It really does, just grinding.
But it wasn't just grinding. There was this intense curiosity, too. Vance tells stories about him and his brother Kimball, just like cold calling people they found interesting.
Just for lunch.
Yeah, they picked their brains. They even got a bank internship that way. Just pure hustle and wanting to learn. That's a theme, Direct action, learning by doing.
And even in college, thinking big, that paper, The Importance of Being Solar.
Right. Already seeing the link between science and, well, a business that could change things.
Yeah.
He specifically chose not to go into video games full-time because he felt it wouldn't have a big enough impact.
Even back then. Wow. Okay, so this drive, this work ethic, it leads him to the dot-com boom, Zip2.
Yeah, Palo Alto. And this is where the intensity really ramps up. Living at the office, showering at the YMCA.
Eating Jack in the Box constantly.
4 meals a day, apparently. Sleeping on a beanbag. Total immersion. And the challenge wasn't just the tech. It was convincing businesses they even needed the internet back then.
Hard to imagine now.
Totally. And he had this extreme mindset. There's that famous quote he apparently told a VC.
A samurai one?
Yeah. I would rather commit seppuku than fail. Just, casual intensity.
Wow. Okay. So Zip2, that was his first real taste of the high-stakes startup world.
Absolutely. All-consuming. And it paid off. Sort of. Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million. Musk walked away with $22 million.
Not bad, but he didn't rest, did he?
Not for a second.
Uh-huh.
Almost immediately pivots to X.com,
Uh-huh.
which, became PayPal.
Right.
And talk about risk tolerance again. He poured nearly all of that $22 million, maybe $12 million after tax straight into X.com.
That's insane. Most people would diversify, maybe buy a house.
Not Musk.
Yeah.
All in. Again, And the PayPal years, well, they were rough.
Yeah, the book details that. The name X.com itself was a bit...
A bit eyebrow-raising for a financial company, yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of internal conflict. Coups. He actually got pushed out as CEO while he was on his honeymoon.
Ouch! Brutal.
Very. But despite being sidelined, when eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion, he came out incredibly wealthy.
A dot-com millionaire, despite the drama.
And he learned a ton. Hard lessons, Vance suggests, about managing people. His style as Zip2 was apparently very confrontational.
The know-it-all vibe.
Kind of, yeah. Changing code without talking to engineers, stuff like that. He learned about needing to keep control, too. But the book also points out his original vision for PayPal was actually quite profound.
More than just online payments.
Oh, yeah. He saw it as fundamentally restructuring finance, making it way more efficient. And his later reflections, like in the appendix Vance includes, they show this deep analytical thinking about why it worked.
Like the low transaction costs.
Exactly. Lower costs, the power of internal transactions using the money market fund. He understood the underlying economic engine, not just the website. That thinking, you see it later with SpaceX and Tesla costs.
That makes sense. And the book doesn't ignore the personal side either. His relationship with Justine Wilson, his first wife.
No, it doesn't shy away. Her perspective, the public blog, the very difficult divorce. Vance includes it, showing the immense personal sacrifice involved in this relentless drive.
It adds a really human dimension. Okay, so he's now fantastically wealthy from PayPal. What next? Most people would maybe, I don't know, buy an island?
All right, play it safe.
Yeah.
But that's just not Musk. He does the exact opposite. Moves to L.A., and then, bam.
Throws it all into new ventures.
All of it. $100 million into SpaceX. $70 million into Tesla. $10 million into Solar City.
Vance calls it the fastest way to destroy a fortune short of building a money-crushing machine.
Pretty much. Everyone thought he was completely crazy. Building hardware companies, rockets, cars, solar. In California, after the dot-com bust, it was nuts.
But it wasn't random, was it? There was a plan.
A master plan, as Vance puts it. This was him pursuing those grand challenges he'd been thinking about since college. Energy, transport, space, the big stuff.
Okay, let's break these down. SpaceX. Driven by the childhood dream, right? Space travel.
Totally. Started with this idea called Mars Oasis. Just trying to send a small greenhouse, maybe with a plant, to Mars.
Simple goal, complex execution.
Understatement. It led him to Russia, trying to buy cheap, refurbished ICBMs, which did not go well.
That's the spitting story.
Huh, yeah. The Russians apparently thought they were idiots and, well, basically told them to get lost. Spitting included, according to one source.
So, plan B, build the rockets himself.
Exactly. Hires Tom Mueller, this brilliant rocket propulsion guy, sets up a factory, creates this culture. SpaceX is special forces.
Super intense, insane timelines. 15 months for the first launch vehicle.
Crazy timeline. And yeah, there were failures. Big ones, the early Falcon 1s blew up. But the key was how fast they learned.
Like fixing things mid-flight almost.
Well, Vance describes one flight where the rocket body actually started crumpling, buckling under stress. Instead of just losing it, the engineers were analyzing the failure as it happened, radioing up adjustments, trying to save it. That's the special forces thing in action. Unbelievable pressure.
And even the small details, like his rule about acronyms.
The ASS rule, acronyms seriously suck. Shows his focus on clear communication, even if, ironically, he makes new ones sometimes.
Okay, then Tesla. That didn't start with him, right?
No, it originated with Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Their key insight was targeting the luxury end of the market first. Make EVs desirable, not just practical.
Smart. Counterintuitive, maybe.
And J.D. Straubel's work electrifying a Porsche showed the performance potential. The first Roadster used a Lotus Elise body, had lots of early issues, especially with the transmission.
Right. And the sales model was different, too.
Yeah, direct sales. And that initial $100,000 pre-order felt more like joining an exclusive club, created buzz.
But the Model S, that was the game changer.
Huge leap, designed from the ground up. Those flush door handles, the giant touchscreen, the battery pack low on the floor, giving it amazing handling.
And the software?
That was maybe the most revolutionary part. The car is a computer on wheels, getting better over time with over-the-air updates, adding features, improving performance after you bought it. The auto industry had never seen anything like it.
Completely changed the game. And then Solar City, that was with his cousins?
Yeah, the Rive brothers, Lyndon and Peter. Musk gave them the initial concept. Their innovation was the leasing model solar panels with no upfront cost. Made it accessible.
And they eventually started making their own panels, too.
Right, acquiring Celevo to get into high-efficiency cell manufacturing. Control the tech, control the cost.
So you look at all three, SpaceX, Tesla, Solar City. It's like this interconnected empire.
A Musk empire, yeah. Vance really highlights this horizontal integration, all tackling fundamental problems, all driven by Musk's relentless push for cost reduction and speed.
And his directness. Sometimes pretty harsh.
Oh, definitely.
Mm.
That quote about seeing their families when we go bankrupt, brutal, but arguably effective in driving results in industries that were seen as slow or stagnant.
So the big question Vance raises, can traditional industries even keep up with that kind of relentless, maybe ruthless approach?
That's a great question. He's certainly shaken things up, brought manufacturing back, created jobs, but the methods are intense.
And that intensity takes a personal toll. The book doesn't gloss over that.
No, it talks about his fluctuating weight, the nightmares, the sheer stress, looking like death itself at times. His view on work-life balance is basically there isn't one.
It's just life.
Yeah, all one thing, driven by this conviction that life is short. You got to work as hard as humanly possible. He even talks about not wanting his kids to be soft, wanting to create artificial adversity for them.
Wow. That's a unique parenting philosophy.
It is. And his ambitions just keep expanding. The Hyperloop idea, born out of frustration with California's rail project, and Mars, not just visiting, but building a self-sustaining city.
For survival, not tourism.
Exactly. A backup plan for humanity, costing maybe $500,000 a ticket. It's this singular focus on the species level.
And other major figures notice this. Larry Page from Google.
Yeah, Vance quotes Page calling Musk an inspiring example in tackling the huge problems. Page apparently even said he'd rather leave his fortune to Musk than charity because Musk is actually trying to ensure humanity's future, like making us multiplanetary.
That's quite the endorsement.
It really is. Yeah. And it forces you to ask, is this the only way to do things this big, this uncompromising, relentless drive?
Does it require sacrificing normal empathy, maybe?
Vance explores that. Musk's perceived lack of sort of person-to-person empathy, maybe offset by this grander empathy for the human species. It's complex, that tension between the insane ambition and the actual results. It's the heart of the story.
So wrapping up this journey through the book, we've seen Musk from this bullied kid in South Africa to this absolute titan reshaping multiple massive industries.
Yeah, Vance concludes he's fundamentally a man on a quest, almost addicted to the next big challenge, the expanding ambition, the personal cost, the bluntness. It all seems tied to the scale of the achievement.
It's not just about the tech, is it? It's about the personality driving it all.
Absolutely. That willingness to break rules, push boundaries, ignore the skeptics, maybe even ignore internal pushback sometimes. That defines his whole approach. He's changed how America builds things, how we think about innovation.
And the future he's aiming for is just staggering. Multiplanetary species, sustainable energy world, ultra-fast transport.
He wants to die on Mars, he says, just not on impact.
Huh. Classic Musk.
So the final thought for you, the listener, building on this deep dive into Vance's book, is really this. We live in a world that often settles for small steps, incremental change. Is Elon Musk's approach this relentless, sometimes brutal, arguably insane quest for a fantastic future? Is that a necessary jolt? Is it what humanity needs to make big leaps?
Or does that kind of drive inevitably demand too high a price? Personally, and maybe for society too.
Exactly. How much insanity does it really take to fundamentally change the world? Something to think about.